A WESH 2 News investigation reveals that guns are going back into the hands of people with mental illness.
And a local sheriff wants to put a stop to it. WESH 2 investigative reporter Greg Fox spoke exclusively with an Army veteran who's had his own weapons taken away, only to be returned days later.
The person said, "I'm going to kill you over 40 times. So my reaction there is naturally grab my gun and kill you.
The Army taught Herb Tipton how to kill in Vietnam. He earned 2 Bronze Stars for heroism and sacrificed his lower left leg to an explosive. Post-traumatic stress disorder now has him fighting demons.
That I'm hearing voices that aren't really there.
How often does this happen?
It was happening daily, but especially in the evening.
What's he got, rifle, handgun? What's he usually carry?
October 29th, Volusia County deputies responded to a frantic call from Herb's daughter.
Daddy, please tell me you didn't shoot anybody. The police are coming. No.
There's more shots. Who's shooting?
Herb surrendered, but WESH 2 investigates obtained records showing he's been Baker-acted, placed in mental health treatment 4 times in the past 15 months. He told deputies once he would run out a Mexican cartel from a bar. He accidentally shot his hand and was seen lying in the front yard in a shooting position with this rifle. In fact, Tipton got all 21 of his guns back each and every time he was released from mental health centers.
And our concern is he's going to be killed or he's going to kill somebody.
Current law does not allow Sheriff Mike Chitwood to seize firearms unless someone is charged. Counselors at Aspire Health say the Baker Act is for treating a specific problem, not determining gun rights.
You don't have the ability to call law enforcement and say, come take that person's guns.
Absolutely not. We have no right to call law enforcement and give them any information about any patient.
A 2013 state law does prohibit someone who is Baker-acted and judged by a court to be in imminent danger from buying a gun. The state lists more than 7,300 people with mental health conditions who cannot buy guns. And just in Orange County, there are more than 2,100 Baker-acted people on that list. But there is no law that addresses people like Herb who already own guns.
Do you feel like there's no reason why you shouldn't have firearms?
I haven't shot anybody in 50 years.
The sheriff wants lawmakers to give him that power to at least temporarily take guns from those battling mental illness.
And have a hearing in front of a judge to determine competency and what's the course of action.
At least in Herb Tipton's case, the sheriff is working a deal with his family for them to take possession of these firearms at the end of his case. In Volusia County, Greg Fox, WESH 2 News.
The National Rifle Association declined comment for this report. Tomorrow night, WESH 2's Greg Fox will sit down with another combat veteran who decided against getting his guns back with the help of a special court program. That's on WESH 2 News at 6.
You're watching WESH 2.
Tonight, a WESH 2 exclusive that takes you inside a special program that helps veterans who commit crimes turn their lives around.
In some cases, these war heroes are charged in violent gun episodes and are struggling with mental illness.
WESH 2 investigative reporter Greg Fox shows us how Veterans Court is getting them the help they need and protect all of us.
War can screw people up, and I mean, that's just the cold reality of it.
Kevin Hamilton is an Iraq War veteran now battling post-traumatic stress disorder. 2 years ago, he held off police in a 7-hour standoff in Ormond Beach.
You know, I had made a comment, about, I'm going to kill as many cops as I can, and then take my own life.
Police got him to surrender, charged him, jailed him, but he got a second chance.
I was accepted to Veterans Court by the grace of God.
With liberties and justice for all.
Those who serve and commit crimes find justice in one of Florida's 30 veterans courts. Unlike regular courts, this one arranges pretrial probation with mental health counseling and mentors like veteran Vince Faulkner.
Putting that man in jail, you just trap that animal who's already in a bad place.
We have about an 85% success rate of people graduating from Veterans Court, which is a lot higher than the typical probation.
Success for Kevin means he'll soon graduate with no criminal conviction and no desire to get his guns back.
Do I trust myself with them at this point in my life? Absolutely. But I would not keep them in my possession.
Well, I think they have more insight into the veterans' issues than a standard court would have.
That's what Herb Tipton is hoping. He earned 2 Bronze Stars and Purple Hearts in Vietnam, losing his lower leg in a bomb blast.
What's he got? Rifle, handgun? What's he usually carry?
Deputies arrested him last month after his PTSD had him shooting guns at imaginary bad guys in his backyard, guns that have been returned to him after he's been Baker acted, placed in mental health treatment 4 times since August of last year. His daughter Shannon thinks Veterans Court is a critical step in keeping him from hurting himself and others.
I believe he needs to go through Veterans Court because charging him with a crime and putting him in jail is not going to help him.
Veterans Court worked for Kevin. He thinks it can work for Herb.
Does he deserve a chance at Veterans Court? You're damn right he does.
Thank you for service to our country.
In Volusia County, Greg Fox, WESH 2 News.
WESH News will be following Kevin and Herb's progress as we continue to examine state laws that govern gun ownership by people fighting mental illness. You can also go to WESH.com to watch our investigation that revealed how state law does not address firearm ownership by people struggling with mental illness despite multiple gun incidents.
Definitely an idea whose time has come.
Only on WESH 2 News, we are taking you inside a court program that helps veterans instead of sending them to jail. Greg Fox met a combat veteran who got a second chance after an armed standoff with police. Now you'll see how he's rehabilitated and hoping to help others.
This is not the way most judges, defendants, and their families begin a day in court. But this is Veterans Court.
The first person I'd like to call up is Mr. Kevin Hamilton.
Kevin Hamilton, like others eligible for this pretrial diversion program, is a vet with an honorable or general discharge. He was an Army sergeant in Iraq and Afghanistan. Suffering from post-traumatic stress disorder, he held his family hostage and threatened his own life in an armed standoff in Ormond Beach in 2015 that fortunately ended peacefully. Veterans Court gave Kevin a second chance. Accept counseling, probation, and mentoring, or face prison.
And not everybody needs to go to jail in order to, reform and change who they are.
Has done exceptional. I can't say enough good things about him.
Joined by his wife and father, Kevin faced the judge not to be sentenced, but to graduate.
Veterans like Kevin deserve help from the mental health community, not incarceration in a standard prison setting.
The combat veteran was humbled.
He's a success. In many ways, he's the best success we've had. And hopefully give other people a chance, for his example, to have chances in Veterans Court.
Not just what you've done for me, but what you do for veterans on an everyday basis.
His probation over, Kevin now wants to be a Veterans Court mentor.
From day one, I've accepted responsibility for my actions. Nobody to blame but me, and all the credit it goes to my support system.
We were extremely blessed to be a part of it, and I found the most support in Veterans Court and the players in Veterans Court. I cannot speak highly enough about it.
Assistant Public Defender Matthew Metz fought to get Kevin into the program.
And it's proven that someone with PTSD can still come forward and be a productive member of society.
I wish you all the best in the world. If everyone would like to join with me, I'd like to do a standing ovation.
In Volusia County, Greg Fox, WESH 2 News.
And there are 30 veterans courts in Florida. Judge Brian Fingenbaum says more than 80% of those who graduate do not repeat their crimes.